Well, greetings to you. Today, I would rather talk about something that is beneficial to the almost 1 million population strong in Guyana. But instead, I have to dedicate some time to deliberate on this nonsensical issue regarding the so-called conspiracy to corrupt the CCJ and the Mohamed'S extradition case. There is a lot to touch on. I'll be touching on that. I also want to touch on where is the oil money going? I want to touch on that. So welcome to Uncensored Guyana Show. I'm Dr. L. Prasad. It's Monday. We're in the summer. July, as we know, the hottest month of the year. We come into August now. We're still in that phase. But nevertheless, this is the world that we were born into. Don't act surprised. We've been through this last year. We've been through this 2020, 2015. It is a yearly occurrence. So we can't act surprised every year as if this is the first time we are going through the heat. Forget the data. The data will show you what the powers that be wants you to think. They want to channel the narrative towards a certain direction about global warming and climate change and all these kinds of stuff. So they'll tell you new data suggests and new data suggests. Beyond my concern, what does the data show about Guyana and what's happening in Guyana? We'll delve into that. First of all, I read the article from the Trinidadian Express that was penned, in my opinion, by a journalist for hire. You know they're for hire, right? The same way how the Mohammed's control News Source, Travis Chase News, and all the other local newscasts in Guyana, news outlet in Guyana. The same way, money can reach anywhere. Money has no limits. Money is like the rivers. As long as there is an opening, the money will flow. So money can get to anyone, anywhere. If the Mohammed's finds the avenue connected to the right people that has Donald Trump's ears and delve out 2 million or 3 million American dollars, I can tell you that sanction, that indictment will go through the roof, disappear overnight. The power of money. Anything can happen. So you don't put your head on a block and swear against the power of money or those who have it. It's unbelievable what they can do with it. Your wife, the woman that you swore was a virgin on the night of the wedding, that you were the only man who ever fucked her, promised her loyalty exclusive just to you. Let her go get a job with a company of whom the CEO is a billionaire. All her principles through the door. No, the windows. And you will never know. That's the power of money. Everyone, absolutely, under the sun, everyone has a price. Dare anyone say they don't have a price? Then I will be the idiot to believe whoever comes and say, not me, I am loyal, really. Everyone has a price, especially those in public service. Career people are cheaper to get to than entrepreneurs. So let's talk about the article in the CCJ. As if you haven't read it, don't bother. What I'm going to tell you here would be enough. Don't waste your time reading it. It's boring. It's full of shit. Don't waste your time. All that was punctuated, that the article was supposed to punctuate, amplify, made relevant, is the fact that the Mohamed'S against Moha and the Ministry of Home Affairs, it seemed to have been an issue of prejudice from the CCJ, coming from the top to the bottom. And what they use, the example they give to give solidarity or credibility to the alleged corruption regarding the Mohamed'S case, is the fact that this man, the president, like every other president of every other organization under the sun, who has ultimate, executive, unilateral, doesn't have to consult with anybody. He himself, me, myself, and I can set boundaries, initiate rules. Every organization, the president has that exclusive authority and right. Every. Based on the fact that that man told another nigger who is supposed to be a judge, hey man, this ain't Africa. This ain't Kunta Kinte. In the Swahili or the Shambo Desert, this is the fucking CCJ. It's a court. It's an institution. And we have a dress code. When we have emancipation, and we all agree that on Emancipation Day, we can lose the suit, lose the gown, and be formal. You know, casual. Wear whatever you want. Casual Friday. You want to wear some African print? Wear the fucking African print on Fridays. Just Fridays. We decide that. But Monday to Thursday, on official business, especially in deciding a case in a court of law, you wear the designated gown for this institution. Don't put anything else to it. Don't add no brooch. Don't add no wrap, no beads, just the gown. That's it. And you call that dictatorship? The president trying to keep order, keep standard, not because if one do it, then the one who is a Hindu can also come and say, okay, he can wear some African, I'm going to wear some Indian. Then the one who's a Chinese, or if she have some Amerindian roots, okay, we all can do it. Freedom of expression, no. You're a judge. Wear the clothes that's suiting a judge. And since word of mouth didn't work, let's make it official. Send a memo to those that matter and say, hey, let's stick to this. All right? It's official now. It's on record. I'm on record telling you, let's stick to this. If the CCJ president had any idea that having made that decision, send that memo, it could have caused public scrutiny, it could have been leaked, his ass could have been on fire, you think he would have done it via an email? You think he would have gone on record? So it went into the booking of the records of the CCJ for everybody to access. Whatever happens there is public. Tell me, how is that dictatorship? Where is the evidence to support that because he told everybody, and not even everybody, he told a few that needed to hear that, we have a dress code, let's stick to the dress code. And they had a problem like some pussies who didn't want to follow the boss's order, nagging and yaggy. Then it happened that the Mohamed's case came around the same time, and the people who allegedly took some money from the Mohammed to influence their colleagues, because this is about unanimous votes. So if you get to one judge, pay him some money, he's going to pull his buddies in and say, hey, I got to divide this money. We have to hold one head on this matter. You think because the CCJ president may not have gotten a cut, he then say, I don't care how much money you fuckers got. This is the decision you all have to agree on, or else what? I'll fire you. If they had a different conviction, they had a different position, and they didn't believe that the case had merit and should not have gone back to Judy, or the extradition has to be redone, did he put a gun to their head? Did he threaten their jobs? Did he threaten their pension? That if they didn't come on this side to say, hey, nothing is wrong with this case, let it go back. They had the opportunity on the live reading of this thing to say then, hey, with all due respect, what is written there was not my position. I was forced to take that position. They had, and they would have been protected. They would have been protected by the world. But instead, days after, weeks after, you're going to come with some article which is suspicious in nature to point out the president forced the others to vote against the Mohammed because somehow Irfan Ali got to the president of the CCJ and paid him some money, gave him some land. What, he got some contracts? What did he get? What did the president of the CCJ get? To vote, to get his colleagues to go in accordance with the position that is not favorable to the Mohammeds. What did he get? How the fuck is it everybody getting paid but I can't get? Ali is getting to everybody. Everybody Ali is getting to. And giving them a whole lot of money. And I have a very good platform, a very influential platform, and he getting to me. You think I'm going to turn down bribe from Ali? I spend my fucking days and months calling for the Mohammeds to leave. And people just have to make one decision against the Mohammed, and they're getting millions for that, and nobody's contacting me. I am doing this shit for free. What the fuck is that? How the heck did Ali get? You idiots. The shit you would believe, man. The dumb shit you would believe. Politicians can be corrupt, but come on, man. I was more afraid that Mohammed got to the president of the CCJ because I know that those guys don't mix with politicians. They can't. You don't trust politicians. You think the PPP got, not the PPP, Ali government got to the one man in the CCJ to influence all the others? Negro, please. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let's waste our fucking time on that shit. It's nonsense. It is bullshit. I have been head of many organizations. I've been the boss of many companies. And it was always my way or the highway. I was always particular with dress code. My staff, female staff in the past, couldn't wear weaves. They couldn't wear weaves, nor makeup. And their uniform has to be above their knees, covering their knees. That was my way. You don't want it? You can stay home. The man is a conservative man. The man, the Jamaican man, is a conservative man. He has conservative values. He plays by the book. He goes according to the rules. It's not an emotional thing. So no APNU, no PNC, no PNC. Not every time something doesn't go in your favor, the person needs to be fired. You have no power to call for shit. You can't even call for a protest and get 10 people to fucking show up. You think you have influence to call for the CCJ president to resign? What the fuck is wrong with you? Every time I come to the show with no intentions to curse, these motherfuckers are putting it in my head. I have to communicate to these lowlifes. I don't like cursing. I don't like it. But we got to talk to these fuckers. I mean, come on. Just because the Mohammed didn't get what they wanted, they were robbed. Yes, not everybody you can bribe. Not everybody can bribe. And even if you're going to try to bribe somebody, don't bribe somebody because you think they know the president. You want to bribe somebody, bribe the president. Don't bribe his staff. The staff can make you think they have access to the president. And when you think, okay, give them some money, give them a new car, they would make you run around for 2 years, 5 years. And the only time you get to see the president is when he wants re-election. And then he, oh shit, I got to suck up to anybody and everybody. Then you'll get to talk to him. But then he has no powers, especially if he loses re-election. So if you want to bribe anyone, bribe the person who has to make the decisions. Get to them and bribe them. If we are speculating that this Indian judge from Guyana who is in the CCJ, the Mohammed got through him, through their lawyers, and he tried to infiltrate the others, his colleagues, but they could not get to the president of the CCJ. It's possible, plausible. Yes. Nobody likes the boss, right? Every organization, nobody likes the boss. There is always a plot to get rid of the boss, like right now in the Ali government. There are a lot of ministers that hates Ali Gotts, and he gave them a job, but they hate him. And they leak information, they conspire with all the people to make Ali look bad. It happens. It happens. It ain't the boss's fault. So Mohammed, this shit ain't gonna work. You're not getting any more trial at the CCJ. No more trial at the CCJ. Don't bring this up because you think your lawyers can say, on the basis of this new evidence that suggested bias, I think the case should go back to the CCJ and have a retrial. And the president of the CCJ should recuse himself because of the possibility that he may have been compromised by the Attorney General of Guyana or the President of Guyana, even though we have no evidence, but because of the speculation that he's a dictator and he wants all the judges to dress like him. Yeah, it's plausible that he could have gotten everybody else to vote against the Mohammeds. So we want another trial. That's coming. Another trial means they got to reapply, which they will. And the CCJ would be forced to entertain the case. That's another delay. Even if the verdict comes back the same, 6 months would have passed. 6 months. Then we have it back to Judy next year. Then something else, trust me, will surface. Something else. This is the power of the billionaire's money. He can afford to buy time and pay anyone in whose control his time lay in their hands. And right now, Mohammed's time is in the hands of the law and those who execute the law, the officers of the law. And the most important institution of law right now is the CCJ. If they can get the case back to the CCJ, that's an accomplishment, that's an achievement for the Mohammed's. Not for Guyana, not for Guyanese, but the Mohammed's. I want to caution you on this. When Ali came into government and they made an attempt to renegotiate the ExxonMobil deal that the PNC threw on away, 2% royalty, 75% cost recovery. The PNC signed off Guyana's future to ExxonMobil and their buddies. When the PPP said, hey, no, this is the bad deal. Exxon knew it's a bad deal. But ExxonMobil has the track record of making bad deals around the world to weak countries, corrupt, confused countries, divided countries. They exploit it. It happens all over the globe, wherever countries like Guyana exist and they have these resources. So what happened? The American government, Exxon is an American company, but it's a private company that Donald Trump now has a problem with. But the American government under Trump, or Biden was it? No, Biden. Under Biden said to Irfan Ali government, via the ambassador, Nicole Terrier, the woman now, you can't do that. It's a dangerous move. The United States government will not allow you to renegotiate any deal involving ExxonMobil. You have to take the 2% and live with it. Otherwise, you force it, you want to play the big boss, you want to tell Exxon, no, I don't care what the previous one did, we got to redo this because it's bad for my citizens. They told the Ali government, if you do that, you are fucked. No, literally fucked. As in Venezuela fucked, Nigeria fucked, Africa fucked. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. So, if the Americans can be so persistent and threatening and domineering and determined to get their way with oil, you think they're going to sit idly by and allow the Mohamed'S and their lawyers and their friends to pussyfoot around the court system? Think they can play with the might of the Americans? And the Guyana government just pull their tail between their fucking legs and say, well, we got to leave it to the court systems? No. The Americans will do what they do best. Use force to get their way. And they will, if this shit with the Mohammed's continue, if it continues and nothing comes out of it, it can very well be the Americans themselves holding that over the Ali government to say, hey, you don't play by the book, by our book. We're going to remove the sanctions from this guy and make him make your life a living hell. But while we have it under control and we can pull the plug with this guy anytime, we want the nations to see that we are not involving ourselves with any country's internal affairs, even if it involves getting a criminal that we want. Fuck with them, and you'll see the consequences of that. I want to bring your attention to a situation that parallels this. You've heard of the Tate brothers, Christian Tate, Andrew Tate. They are very well known on social media. They talk about women should stay home and cook, and women should be slaves. They're into the porn business. They're into all kinds of shady businesses. The point is, they're huge Trump supporters. Very big. They're millionaires. Very rich men. Last week, the United Kingdom indicted them on over 100 charges of different sex crimes, money, different things. And the United Nations, England, made an extradition request for these two powerful men in the United States. I'll go slow. The United Kingdom went ahead with an extradition request. You getting my audio? With an extradition request for Christian and Andrew Tate, the Tate brothers, who was at the time in America, who thought they had the protection of the man himself, Donald Trump. When that extradition request was made, Judge Judy, listen now, when United Kingdom, England sent the paper and delivered it to the Justice Department in America, New York, they immediately, the Secretary of State, whoever it was, immediately signed off, just like the Home Affairs Minister in Guyana, signed the fuck off. Proceed. Then the local law enforcement went to the location of the Tate brothers, who are buddies of the President Trump, and arrested them. And not only arrested them, took them to prison. They went before the court to get bail pending the extradition request. They're fighting the extradition right now. Their bail was denied. Their bail, Judge Judy, Magistrate Judy, these two men, world renowned, rich and powerful, who had the protection of Donald Trump, or thought they did, who supported him in the elections, funded, are in prison right now, awaiting extradition to the United Kingdom to face charges on sex trafficking and a whole long list of stuff. The key word here is that they were arrested upon the extradition request, arrested, put in handcuffs by a van load of police in public, captured on camera, and off to prison, went before a judge, and they were denied bail. They're in prison right now. I can't stress that enough. Here we have in Guyana, where Azriddin Mohammed and his father, these are two brothers, this is father and son, more serious crimes. I don't condemn men for this whole bullshit about if you rape the woman, if you rape her, you force her to have sex with you, you rape her, you drugged her and you rape her, yes, go to jail. But if she gave you the pussy, and because of some deal went bad, she come and scream and say, oh my gosh, he made promises to me and he made me do this. Fuck that shit, man. Bitches are fucking bitches. Women are bitches. I don't believe that shit, but trafficking bullshit. They went on their own behalf. Shit didn't turn out what they wanted. They fell in love. They get jealous and they go there. Oh, he raped me. We know that nonsense. This situation with the Mohamed'S is much, much more serious. Much more serious. And what happened? Extradition request was made by a powerful nation more than England to a weak-ass nation like Guyana. And the two suspects are on the street. They were not arrested. No. They went with their lawyers. They weren't put in lockup when the extradition was made. They didn't face no jail time. They were immediately placed on bail of 100,000, 150,000 Guyana dollars bail, less than 1,000 American dollars for extradition. The case was prolonged for months. Went before the Caribbean High Court, prolonged again for 3 months. Now back to Guyana, prolonged again for 2 months. While the two individuals are still on the street protesting, meddling, and the democracy was so great with Guyana that one of the suspects was able to enter politics, start a political party, ran, contested in the local elections, won the opposition seat, and now he is legally, constitutionally, the opposition leader in the country. While long before that, he was under investigation, indicted, sanctioned, and the extradition was pending, was on its way. But he was allowed to do all of that. Democracy for you. That's what we call it, right? Democracy. Contrast the other countries. As recent, like I said, as last week, two powerful men. See the double standard? Good. Let's deal with that double standard. We came up the CCJ case. I showed you how the system is broken, biased, and stupid in Guyana. The government is weak. The government has no control. The government is divided. And the government has a bunch of hustlers. As long as their needs are met, fuck the country. We don't care. Let them try with Mohammed. Let them try with America, as long as my needs are met. And my friends, and my family. I don't care about the wider society. So we in this together. This is Ali and the Mohammed's and Jagni and the Mohammed's and leaving the country. That's them. Let them deal with that shit. Ain't my problem. Oh, I'm talking about the rest of the Ali cabinet. It don't affect them. Why? Because they apparently are still enjoying the fruits of our labor, the Guyanese citizens. Now, I wanted to find out, it bothered me. I mentioned this quite some time ago. And because of the fact that I'm obsessing about Mohammed, Burima tragedy, Mohammed, Burima tragedy, when I thought I'm going to ease off the Burima tragedy here because Ejel is not going to go because nobody wants him to go. That is, Ali and his cabinet don't want Ejel to go. So let's not get beside ourselves. So I figured I'm going to deal with things that Guyanese must have brought to their attention. Then we have this again. From the Burima tragedy to the CCJ conspiracy. It's like you can't get a fucking break to deal with something that is important to the nation. Every time it's a distraction. Every time something else dominates the headlines that has no substance. So I'm going to ignore that. My thing is, again, I followed all the model villages and model this and model that. I admire the airstrips that were being built. I like the fact that roads were constructed. You know, it's easy access. You build communities faster and, you know, the whole infrastructure thing. Good. But the next 4 years can't be just about building shit. When you build shit, then the next guy comes He builds too. Just building. That's it. The next 20 years is building shit. And by the time you get to 10 years, the road you built in 2020 damaged. You got to go back to that again. It's a never-ending investment in building stuff. Money just circulating amongst a few. It's rotating there. It's not falling down. It's staying here. Always something. Mr. President, my thing is, we were getting 2% from our resource. ExxonMobil, in a short time, when they start drilling 2019, when the oil start pumping, let's say 2020. From 2020 to now, it's not completely 6 years. In a short time, that company, ExxonMobil, recovered all their capital investment, all 55 billion American dollars. 55 billion. Every cent of the money they invested in oil exploration, setting up the whole thing, building whatever, they got it back. Now what? They can pack up and go home. Now what? Now we get 50-50. You take out the expenses, you take out the taxes, you take out all the operational cost. What is left, the profit, is 50 for them and 50 for us, which is much more than 2%, which in fact would take you around 27.5%. 27. If the country with 2% could have done so much, and they have secured massive loans on a 2% royalty, now we get in 27%. That is 25% more, which is about 250 something million American dollars a week. Guyanese, right now, as the 900 barrels of oil per day that we are allegedly sourcing, based on that tariff, the country, don't separate this as the government, not the government, not the Irfan Ali government. Guyana as a country is earning just from oil, 255 million American dollars per week. Weekly. Not a year, not a month. 1 week. Every week. Multiply that by 4. When you multiply that 250 something by 4, then you can multiply it by 12. Then you'll see how much Guyana is earning per year, only from the oil sector. Forget gold and forget all them other stuff. I don't like the fact, this is why I'm upset, that we are wasting our motherfucking time on stupid issues. Every day there's some nonsensical distraction. Oh, the farm. Oh, Mustafa's house. Oh, the chicken poultry. Oh, this. Oh my God, Susan Rodriguez's house. All the time, every day, some nonsense. And idiots that are benefiting from this are circulating it so it dominates the headlines on social media. That nothing else can break that. While something as important as this is not getting any playtime. Why? Does the government want this to be kept on the down low? The government doesn't want Guyanese to know that we are rich, filthy, filthy, filthy fucking rich. So that when we were getting 90 something million a week from the 2%, from that 90 something million, look how much the government did with 90 something million. They raised the tax, they raised the income, cash grants of 100,000, this grant, that grant, housing project, road project, and all these things from 90 something million. You get all of that. Now we're getting 250 something million. Almost 180 million more we're getting now. Don't you think naturally, man? Bro, naturally, if you're earning more money, naturally, shouldn't it ripple down to the people? Naturally. You're earning more, right? Much more. Would it be fair that Guyana is earning now 200 plus, 250 plus million a week in revenue just from oil? I want you to understand that this is just oil. This is just oil. And you have people can't even fucking live a full 30 days on the salary they're getting now from the money the government has earned. People who have finished university are earning just over 100,000 Guyana dollars a month. They have to go in debt themselves with a bank for a house. And this bank loan is like 20 years to pay it back. Pretty soon the whole country, Mr. President, is indebted. To what end? All of these model homes that you are showing, Mr. President, is good. But come on, man. From 2020 to now, you have all of these housing schemes. People aren't living there yet because they're not completed. You have a lot of roads that are still being constructed. Now this is a new project. What I'm saying here, it seemed like whoever these advisors are that are constantly coming to Ali with projects, they're looking for ways to eat the money. Eat the money. Because if you already budgeted money for 20,000 houses, when you budget that money, it means when you deliver 20,000 houses, it must be 20,000 houses with water, light, road, fencing. That's what it means. It don't mean you start the fucking project, you pay the contractors, they started the project, and you move on to something else without even monitoring the one that was paid for before. Then you budget another set of money for some new project that will be started and then leave halfway. Then you start another one, then leave halfway. Then in the next 4 years, we have used up hundreds of billions of dollars and nothing to show for it. Guyanese are still indebted. There are people who took loans for some of the houses the government built, and they still can't move in these houses. This happened since the first term. They're still paying loans, but they can't live. That is not fair. It can never be fair. 280 and 50 something million a week, and Guyanese have to take a fucking loan to buy a house? A loan to buy a house? That money ain't the government's money. The kind of money that now Guyana is going to earn from the oil, just the oil sector. Every Guyanese can get a house for free. No debt, no investment, no loan. Every Guyanese, all the housing projects across the country, the government can afford to use that taxpayer money and pay whichever developer they have a private public partnership with. The government can buy all those houses, everyone, and give it to Guyanese for free. All of it. I want you to do the math. Fuck Mohammed. He's a billionaire. All them cabinet ministers that a lot of us are fighting for, using our platform. There's some of you are being paid. You have interest in that, so you have to do that. Yeah. Some of you who are sheltering the so-called, what they call it, decency, whatever, with some cabinet ministers who went from rags to riches. Tell me how the heck a bishop, a preacher, with a salary from a small church that a bunch of poor people go to pay tithes every month, no matter how much years this is, with no bank loans, how that bishop can afford to set all of his children for life. Properties. Tell me how that church can deliver that to a man, his wife, his children, and grandchildren. How is that possible? Even if that man became a minister of government, how can he afford that on a minister's salary? It's not possible. It's not possible. I can understand you take a loan from the bank, but how much can the bank give you? How much would the bank give you? As against what? In other words, what I'm saying here is everyone, every single one of Ali's cabinet ministers, we're talking about Ali government, not PNC. PNC did their damage. We have established that they are corrupt. They have lived and they had no access to the kind of money the Ali government is accessing now. So we can limit the PNC's corruption because they hadn't much to steal from. Had they been in government now, we would be saying the same thing. Now, the persons who are there in charge of managing, budgeting, and spending our money are the president and his cabinet. Therefore, the focus is on them, not the PNC. So, all of these guys who took the bus, like all of you, are now kings and queens. How is that possible? And you find here, I want to stick on this Edgel issue. And you find here, Edgel appointed his son, the manager of Region 4, another powerful position. This is telling you Guyanese, us Guyanese, there is no end in sight. The money will never reach the ordinary person. It will never reach the ordinary person. Because when a man like Edgel put his son to manage Region 4, meaning he'll manage the resources and who gets what, it just goes in a circle. The son will make sure Edgel's friends, cabinet ministers who have interest in whatever, get access. Same thing with other ministries. Vidya Prasad, the daughter of Ripu the man Prasad. It's a family thing. I am concerned because this is going on too much. Same thing with the PNC. This cousin, that friend, this uncle. So it never reaches the voters. The people who are there overlooking how the monies are spent are all connected by blood, by party loyalty. to the status quo. Now it is more money at stake. What do you think will happen? You think corruption was 90 something million? You scream out of that? Now these fellas have 200 plus, 250 plus million American dollars a week. What you think will happen? They would throw away 2 billion just like that to float that boat. Just like that. And forget about it. It's not fair. All of these cries. It's not, I hate that. And I'm going to be expressing more on this issue. I hate that because I hate lies. I hate pretense. Let me caution you folks. Let me caution you with one thing. I don't care who comes after me. You understand? PPP loyalists, PNC. Well, PNC people came after me forever. Mohamed's people came after me forever. But based on what I'm saying here, if there are people who consider themselves PPP loyalists and you fucking dare come after me, I'm not connected to any minister or anyone in the government. So I understand you gotta count your costs. You gotta cover your money. You have to make sure that a certain narrative stays there, because if the government falls, you fall. You're directly benefiting. I get that. But sell the stuff another way. Don't try to attack my person, my character, just because you are benefiting from protecting the government and you think by default I should too. No, you're benefiting. I don't have to. What I'm saying here is people power. People power. Because I saw when that stupid issue with CCJ, corrupt, Mohamed's case was flawed and all this shit hit the internet. Oh man, the wave of, I'm like, damn, look at this. Look at this. This is supposed to be breaking news. This is supposed to, what is this supposed to achieve? Sympathy for the Mohamed's? You people are missing the point here. The point is that Azruddin Mohamed is a fucking billionaire, man. Motherfucker, he's a billionaire. All the people in the government now who are stealing, who are corrupt, they want to get to that status. They want to achieve the kind of wealth like the Mohammed. That's why they're corrupt. So if you're going to harness your emotions for a man who is responsible for corrupting the system, who himself says nothing about ExxonMobil, he doesn't say anything about oil. Look at where Mohamed's focus is. He distracts you, Guyanese, from what's happening in the oil sector. He distracts you. He talks about insignificant issues and keeps you busy on that. Because why? He might be a politician, but he's still a businessman. And he's hoping that his crimes are forgotten, his sanctions are lifted, his indictment disappears. What you think he will do? Go back to what he did 2020 to try to enter the oil sector and get contracts with oil. That's it. So he will never bring to your attention the exploitation within the oil sector right now, and how Guyanese are being robbed from the oil resources. He would never mention that because he is one of the players who want to benefit also. So if he educates you on that, it means that he'll also be under scrutiny if he is not in prison. And they have businesses that are tied to what's happening in the oil industry right now, and they're benefiting. So don't trust the distractions from the Mohammed. Don't trust the distractions even from the government. Don't trust it. Because everybody, all the players, PNC, APNU, Mohamed's camp, and the PPP are distracting you, the Guyanese people, from this exorbitant future, which starts now. 250 million. And if they have to pay all your leaders to keep you busy with other stuff, your leaders would happily accept the bribe from the government they're criticizing, only to make sure that you don't focus on the monies that are being made right now. So fuck the protest. Edgel is now going to go because Edgel is corrupt. A lot of the oil money goes into the public works ministry. And the public works ministry are the ones who give out contracts, massive billions and billions and billions in contracts. So you see why? It's all tied. You are the sheep. We are the assholes. And the small revolving at the top that involves all of them, APNU, PNC, WIN, PPP, all of them, they want you to make sure that you don't focus on the wealth, the money the country is earning. Oh, that's boring stuff. Let's talk about the extradition with the Mohamed'S. Oh my gosh, I can't believe the CCJ president could do that. Why are they so unfair to the Mohamed'S? Oh, please, Lord, please help this billionaire to stay out of prison. Lord, I know he corrupted the government. Lord, I know all of them were friends. Lord, I know they stole and they robbed and they cheated. But please, Lord, keep the Mohamed'S out of prison so they can stay in Guyana to become trillionaires. While we, the people, can say, oh, he's our leader, and we have to starve, can't pay rent, can't even buy tennis roll and Solara and egg ball. Please, Lord, help the Mohamed'S. You see how that sung? That's how you sung. When you're trying to save this billionaire's ass, that's how you sung. What you need to do is say, hey, 100,000 Guyana dollars that you were paying as a minimum wage when the country was earning 98 million American dollars a week. Say, well, 98 million, you paid 100,000. Now you're earning 250 million. Pay 200,000. Should be 250, but 200,000. Basic, right? And demand that that's the minimum wage. Or else keep deflecting, keep pushing stuff that are not important, keep commenting thinking this is a political thing. And what will happen? 2030, the next election, one of the two parties will regain government, either the PNC or the PPP, one of the two. And the same people right now will go back again. Same people. The ones who are here, who are millionaires now, 2030 will be billionaires. 2030, they will be billionaires. Zero debt. They have no debts. You, the Guyanese, that are now sticking out your neck and thinking somebody has an agenda against the government. In 2030, you may have lost your job. You're still in debt to pay your house. Your marriage is ended. You don't have a business. And you still can't fulfill your dreams. And you are hoping that the next president is going to wave his hand and your dreams come true, like you were hoping last year, and 2020, and 2015, and 2010. They never do that. They will never do that. Why? Because the money flows at the top. What comes down are promises that one day you will get to the top. But how would you get to the top? You got to enter politics, become a cabinet minister, or somebody close to the cabinet minister. Then you have access. Then you might have a chance. But you do none of that, and you're the average person that you are right now. 2030, you're in the same position, broke, angry, bitter, and you wouldn't have a choice than to blame the other guy. I mean, that doesn't look like you. That's when it becomes a racist thing, a racial thing. Because the black man thinks the coolie man is robbing him of his right to earn. The coolie man thinks the black man is in his way from accessing whatever needs to be accessed. So they tug and war against each other. Black and coolie, tug and war. And then boys at the top, both sides, are enjoying the spoils. And they keep you believing that you are the problem. Well, I'm telling you, fuck it. I'm saying to you, Guyanese, listen to me. Exxon, they got paid. Now it's profit sharing. The Guyana government are collecting on your behalf over 250 million American dollars every week. You understand that? Which means that automatically, yes, automatically, your life should change for the better. It has to. It must. There must be no excuse. It has to, it must. There's no base on which loans must be taken from IMF or IDB. No base on which that should be secured. With that kind of income, even if it was 200 million American dollars a week, what's the justification for a government taking loans still on foreign banks? What's the justification? What? Share the money amongst the people. All of these houses and whatever it is that is being pushing, complete what you started. Finish what you started. Deliver it. Guyanese should not be taking loans from the bank for homes with the money the country is making right now. They should not. It's wrong. It's robbery. It's wrong. We should not be in debt while these ministers and these permanent secretary and these directors are debt-free, because they will pay their debts off. All them who have debts or use a debt as a sham is going to be paid off. They can pay it overnight. But it can't be so quick because it's going to be suspicious. But the point is, with the kind of money the country is earning from oil, Guyanese should not be in debt for nothing. That's a fact. So, if I was concerned about reactions, if I was concerned about who would say what, I would give a fuck. But I got nothing to lose. No contracts, no donations, no special privileges, nothing to fucking lose. But what I have to gain is the Guyanese who are spending their days on social media spreading bad information about me. That I'm blind to what the government does, or I'm blind to this, I'm blind for that, and the government is funding me heavily to keep Guyanese distracted and keep Guyanese hypnotized and keep Guyanese this. I want you to stop that. I want you to stop that. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. Because you haven't heard me before. I speak to situations. I praise when it's necessary. I criticize when it's necessary. I'm not a slave as you think. That everything. No, 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 no. Today, I came with an agenda to talk about this today. I don't know what I'll talk about tomorrow. And when I'm dealing with an issue, I deal with it passionately, wholeheartedly. I don't hold back. It's not edited, it's raw, uncensored, unfiltered, raw. So I don't need anything in my mind to say, oh, you got to be easy on that because, you know, that donor there, he might not like it, and then you got to think about the money. He will fuck all of that shit. That's it. I don't need anything to burden my mind into delivering honesty and truth, my truth, to my audience. I can't deal with burdens or weight or no heaviness on me. No, I want to be free to speak to what the issues are. So those people who have their pages on Facebook, as we know, let's call one Sheriff Group. The country knows that group enjoys billions in contracts from the government. Everybody knows that. What do you think a news agency like that would be doing? Favorable information about the government, right? That's what they'll be doing. If they were not enjoying benefits from the government, it would be the opposite. So all the pages, all the platforms, like in the Mohamed'S case, those agencies and pundits and people who speak for the Mohamed'S, they're enjoying the benefits of doing that. If the Mohamed'S were not paying, subscribing, funding them, you think they'll do it with no benefits? So don't get sucked into that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's talking for the Mohamed'S. Yes, he has to. Oh, you hear what this guy say? He's talking for the government. He has to. I ain't a part of that team. I am independent. Independent. On record, all the persons who have so far made subscriptions, donations to my show, to my foundation, on record, they have no political affiliations that I am aware of. No government job. They're not a minister. They're not a public servant. They're private citizens. Private citizens. No connections to governments. So whatever their secret connections are to the government, I don't know. I'm not aware of it. So I'm saying this now. If you hear something in the future about PPP funding me, I'm saying it. It is a lie. It never happened. They reached out to me and offer, but never fulfilled it. Never fulfilled it. And I'm happy they didn't. They never fulfilled it. I never reached out to anybody in the government or anybody on the PPP side for funding. Never. So if you see anything that I did, it's because they made the promise first. They first made the promise and asked me to follow up on it. I know what I'm saying here because I'm seeing stuff. I'm getting messages. I'm seeing stuff. So I know what I'm saying now because they're going to try to push a lot of stuff around that I'm bitter because I try to get money from the government. It's a fucking lie. If you see it. But they threatened me that they're going to send it out. So before they do, I am saying it. So when they do, you know, okay. I said to you guys already, don't threaten me. I hate threats. So I'm making it clear. It ain't personal. It's just political. If you want to see this as an attack on the president, that's your mentality. That's the level of your mentality. But it's based on the issues. I'm saying, based on the income Guyana is set to receive from just the oil sector, Guyanese, in a practical sense, should have a better quality of life. That's what I'm saying. Whoever disagrees with that, you are unpatriotic and you are a part of the gang that has an invested interest in stealing from the Guyanese people. But if you are a citizen and you're struggling and you live in America, you live in whichever part of the world, and you still have to send money to your relatives in Guyana, you still have to send goods, you still have to help them out in a country that, quite frankly, mirrors the American biracial, then you should be concerned. You should encourage your people in Guyana to say, hey, enough is enough. You can't be struggling in America, in Europe, in England, and you got to work 2-3 jobs just to help your relatives back in Guyana who is living in a country of such mass wealth. Not untapped. Mass wealth that they're earning every week. They should send you money. Guyanese should help their relatives abroad from Guyana. It should not be the other way around. It's wrong. And that is what we need to pay attention to. Fuck the Mohamed'S and all this bullshit circulating on the internet. Oh, this pumping working here. Oh, this drain here. Oh, this house here. Nonsense. It's wasting your time on these frivolous things that wouldn't bear any fruit. Deal with what's important. What's important is open your eyes and see that you are not benefiting. Anyway, until next time, they're going to block me from all the groups as well. Yeah, I'm prepared. Bring it on. All the groups, they're going to block me now. They blocked me from a few already. Now it's going to be, they block me from all the groups. And if you share it in the groups, they'll delete it. So be prepared for that. But the struggle is real. And you shouldn't be living poor in a country that is earning that much wealth. Well, thanks for your attention. I forgot to tell you, this is coffee. Yeah. Goodbye now.